And then you come back and you go to Australia for a few weeks. And then you come back and you're in Italy again for a week, eating like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Unbelievable meals. We had such a good time. We just got back literally a couple days ago, and we had the trip of our lifetime. And it was all for his 50th birthday. But imagine being 50 and just having 10 people that you want to be there with you on a trip to Italy. Just going through life. And, you know, after you've rented a house at the Jersey Shore for a month, you know, after you've gone to Albania, after you, I mean, it's just, you just can't, it's hard to envision the rewards that this industry will give to you if you give it your time and energy. And that's what he's done better than anybody I know. He's the top money earner in this company. He and his partner, Frank Marone, they've done amazing things, and we're all the beneficiaries of these guys with their, like 7 years ago, taking their machetes and going through this jungle of brand new deregulated energy and swiping away a path so that we can follow along that path. And we now have these nice dirt roads that people can come up on. Right? But the funny thing about it is when these guys had their machetes and they were swinging, making that trail, they knew that one day there would be a paved highway with 2 toll booths at each side. Every single time someone went through, they had to pay the toll. And they're the toll owners. So imagine going from the machete boy to the toll owner. That's what this business can do for you. So give a big, big round of applause for Mr. New Jersey.
All right. Congratulations for being here tonight, guys. How many people here are new within the last 3 months? Wow, awesome, good. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and then we'll go into some training. You know, just not training, not like, you know, partner, ambassador training, more like, you know, what makes things work, what's holding you back, you know, overcoming objections, all the little things that make people quit in their first few weeks. That's what I like. That's, to me, is the most interesting thing. What makes a rock star from a guy who quit? Sometimes people quit 2 or 3 times and finally figure it out. Some people never quit, but they also never show up. And they pay their $20 a month for 4 years. And then finally it clicks. You know, so in the end, it all comes down to fear. The reason why we don't succeed in anything is we're afraid. We're afraid it's going to take a lot of work. We're afraid what people are going to think about us. Some people are actually afraid of success. They are. You know, it's kind of weird, right? You know, can you really picture yourself making $30,000 a month?
Yeah.
Yeah, you say it, but if you really want to get deep, some people are like, you know what? That's a little uncomfortable for me. Am I worth it? Do I deserve it? What's my mother going to think about me? What's my friends going to say? This guy's making 30 grand a month and he doesn't even leave the house. You know, I'm working my butt off and he's making, you know, 30,000. He's making $1,000 a day, 7 days a week. Right? It's some people, you know, it sounds great. Yeah, of course I want to win the lottery, you know? But you know, it takes work, but people fail because they're afraid. And in the end, so what's the opposite of fear? Courage. What this business is about is courage. You got to be courageous. You have to just be focused. I want to be partner. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you got to let nobody stop you. You got to have the reasons why you're doing it built out and write them down. You know, there's certain things I learned over the years, you know, reading books and studying Jim Rohn and Anthony Robbins. There's certain things I learned that I can't explain why they work. I just know they work. Like writing down your goals. Just writing them down, right? You just write them down on a piece of paper, keep them in your wallet, keep them on your mirror. Some people have huge vision boards, okay? But I'm talking about at least just a little, you know, index card with 3 or 4 goals. Whether it's, you know, lose 10 pounds by the end of the month, you know, get to partner by the end of the year, and keep focusing on those. And ultimately, that's what makes things successful. So I don't understand how Google works, right? I could type in how to get to Maryland, right? I don't know how it works. I just know it does work. I don't need to know how that works. It's a tool. So certain things you learn in personal development about what works and what doesn't. Right? You telling me that the people who write down their goals are, you know, 90% more successful than the people who don't? I'm gonna write them down. I don't know how it works, don't care. I don't need to know. I just need to know that it does work. So that's the tips you're gonna get tonight. Have a little faith in the people that are here tonight that show you what actually works and what doesn't work. And just do what they do. You know, it's very simple. But again, people make it very complicated. They get a couple of no's. But if you're very steadfast, if you understand what you're doing, right? You talked about, Ed talked about going 12 wide, right? Anybody know somebody about 2,000 years ago who went 12 wide?
Yeah.
Right? Look what he built. Right? Why? And these guys were getting tortured, crucified, burned at the stake. Right? But they stuck with it because they knew what they were teaching was right. Love thy neighbor as thyself. That was right. That made sense. And people died for that. So that's what this business is, guys. It's not even that dramatic. It's like you have an electric bill. Everyone has an electric bill or a gas bill. Go online for 3 minutes. You know, do you care about the environment? No? Okay, still don't care. Sign up. You know, it's good for the environment. You know, some people say, you know, global warming and all that stuff. You don't even have to get into that. Everybody knows. If everybody in this room was smoking a cigarette right now, right, it would be pretty damn smoky. Right? Who would want to drop off their kids in a daycare center with everybody smoking? Imagine leaving your kid there from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Well, that's what we're doing by burning coal, you know, for electricity. I mean, it's ridiculous that we're still burning coal. You know, we put a man on the moon almost 50 years ago, and we can't get the sun to, you know, to use electricity. Yeah. It doesn't make sense. So it's politics, it's other issues. But we're learning. In fact, America is like last. Germany, all of Europe, they all have solar and wind power because they have no choice. They don't have oil. Like we happen to have oil. We happen to have Texas. You know? And so instead of paying, you know, the guys in the Middle East, you know, and being, you know, slaves to them, they say, you know, we'll make our own electricity. And that's, so what's neat about it is that it makes a lot of sense. Right? Just like the guy 2,000 years ago. Made a lot of sense. People didn't like it. They didn't like change. But it made sense, and eventually it took over. That's what you guys are going to do. So it takes courage, right? It takes courage to be a martyr, right? We're not asking to be a martyr. We're asking to show videos. And it's changed even in the last 6 to 7 years that I've been in it. You know, it used to be like, you know, is the Wi-Fi working? The video? You know, we didn't have iPhones 6, 7 years ago. You know, and if you did, you know, it had like 2G. You know, and it's like pause, hold on, build. Now we live on our phones. How many people send a text today? Right? And how many people watched a video on their phone in the last couple of days? That's all this business is. It's like, hey, you got a minute? Let me show you something. Boom. I mean, come on. It's so much easier now. This is the new economy. This is it. So ultimately what you got to do though, to overcome that fear, is come up with a why. Okay? You come up with a why you're doing this business, for 2 reasons. Okay? And first let's talk about what the why is. And a lot of people say, why are you doing this business? And I said, what do you mean why? I want to make money. Right? I want to make extra money. Okay? Everyone wants to make extra money. But you got to get a number on it, and you got to get a reason what you want to do with that money. This is some of the stuff that works. Okay? I don't know why it works. I don't know how it works. I just know it works. So if the goal is $2,000 a month to put in a college fund when the kids are still young, so that when they turn 18, it's paid for. That's a cool goal. Okay? But you got to make it real, and then you got to share that goal. Right? And that actually, you know, ironically, or I say coincidentally, was my goal. Because my son now is 21, he's a senior in college, my daughter's a sophomore. So 7 years ago, they were like 14 and 12. And I have another little guy who was 8 at the time. So 14 and 12, right? He's going to college in 3 or 4 years. I had a little bit saved up, right? I read some articles that, you know, but it's not even close. College is ridiculous. College, it's talk about a scam. That's a scam. $66,000 a year, and plus beer. So this was a real thing for me because there was somebody from town. I remember this vividly. Said my daughter just got into Lehigh University, and it's $62,000 a year. And I'm like, are you kidding me? And what if my kid wants to go there? You know, I mean, I'm like, tell me you can't. You know, that's not what I had planned when he was born.
Right.
And when he was born, it's like, you know, whatever you want, right? I'll just work my tail off and you can have whatever you want. That's what parents want for their kids. So like 62, that's $5,000 a month after tax money. So I gotta make like $9,000 a month. I gotta make $100,000. My first $100,000 a year goes to a college. What if you don't even make $100,000 a year? How the hell is that gonna happen?
Right.
So I said, you know, I gotta do something. And I was in real estate, I was in title insurance, and it was, you know, we had a couple of really good years. But even in that business, you know, it's month to month.
Right.
We were really good at it. Frank and I, you know, we were really good at it. We had a great business going. We were making, you know, but again, how many closings we had this month? It was how many closings? It's the 29th, it's the 30th, it's the 31st. How we needed like 100 closings a month just to pay ourselves. If we had 60 closings, the employees got paid, we got 0. So the last 20 closings was our money. You know, if we actually got 106 closings, we had a little extra. So, but we don't know. And I remember, I have told the story in a while. I remember this, my wife saying that she wanted to get a fireplace in the bedroom, like, you know, one of those electric ones, right? And a flat screen TV. We had the big TV, and it was like this thick. On a stand. And she said she wanted to get, you know, one of those electric fireplaces, it's kind of just decoration, and then put a flat screen on it, top. And I was like, okay. I go, how much is it gonna cost? And she goes, well, the whole thing with the TVs were more than, she goes, about $6,000. I said, all right, you know what? Do it. She's like, really? I go, yeah, because we had a good month. Right? It was like the 25th. I knew the orders were coming in. I'm like, do it. And what I should have said is do it, but do it in the next 3 days. Because, you know, a month goes by, crappy month, right? Going down, and I go, whatever happened with the TV and the flat screen? He goes, oh, I just haven't had a chance, you know, to do it. I go, good, don't do it. She's like, what? I go, just had a bad month. And I realized, this is no way to live. You know, I mean, would it have been better if I had it? I don't know. If I spent $6,000, I don't have now. You know, at least I would have had the TV. But, you know, so, I mean, then you hear about residual income, you know, and I didn't even know what it meant, residual income. Residual, to me, meant like the stuff at the bottom of the barrel, you know, soot. But I did know that, like, one of my favorite shows is Seinfeld, right? Seinfeld gets residuals. That show is on 7 o'clock every night, 11 o'clock, all over, 3 different channels, right? He gets residuals. Why? Because think about what he and Larry David did. They made a show for 9 years. They had a blast doing it, had a lot of fun. And what they did though is they added value to people's lives. They made us laugh. And people paid for that. When you add value to people's lives, you get paid. That's the only way you get paid. You're adding value. Whether you're flipping burgers or you're giving out advice, it's about how much value you can give. So basically, in the end, you're gonna get paid about as much as you're worth. Right? So you have to work on yourself. Always work harder on yourself than you ever do for a job.
Right.
Okay? You invest in yourself. That's the only investment you ever get a good return on, is when you invest in yourself. Right? Because that's what you got, is this. Okay? And this. And some of the tools, right? So you invest in yourself. You're investing in being here tonight. You know, spending 2-3 hours door to door, right? So congratulations for being here. How many people had a guest that was supposed to come, didn't show up? Right? Well, good thing, we wouldn't have room for them. I tell that joke every time. It's always say, oh, I had 3 guys. He texted me at 4:30, he'd be here. You know, we try to cut them slack, but the truth is, it takes courage to be here. Right? You could have been home watching television, right? You could have been watching the ball game, or you could have been on Facebook, you could have been catching up with real work, you could have been spending time with your family, but you're here. Don't ruin it. Follow through. Follow through. Follow what's going on. Come to these meetings. Get online. Listen to what I'm telling you to do. Read the books, right? I don't have all the answers. I'm still looking for the answers. What's great about this business is the way you position it, right? Get to that why. So if I came to you and I said, listen, I just had a conversation. I found out that college is like $60,000 a year. My son's 14, my daughter's 12. I got to do something. I found this green energy business. It's web-based. I don't know much about the internet, but it's pretty simple. I'm really excited about it. I'm looking to make an extra $5,000 a month to start putting it away for my son and my daughter who are going to college in 4 or 5 years. Can I show you my business plan? Can I get your opinion? That's it. You're not asking them to become a customer. You're not asking them if they want to get rich. You're not telling them they're a fool for working. You're not telling them, are you tired of the commute? Are you tired of working for the man? Right? So guys, if I can leave you with one real lesson today, right? Instead of telling people, why they should be doing this business, right? Instead of saying, aren't you tired of doing this? Because people can take it the wrong way. Mind your own business.
That's right.
Maybe I like my job.
Right.
Maybe I have this really good book I'm listening to on the train, and I'm okay with that. Screw you. Don't tell me how to live my life. So all of a sudden you get confrontational, right? Look, aren't you tired of working? Right? As opposed to, here's what I'm doing. I got to put these 2 kids through college, or I got my mom in a facility. That's like it's not good. I want to put her in a better place, or I want to pay my mom's rent, or I have a son who's got special needs. I have a nephew. I heard this story. It made me cry. Actually, 2 separate people. A young guy, 30 years old, right? Makes good money. Lives in New York City. Smart guy. Lives in New York City. Has good-looking kid, and he's doing this business all the time. He's on the phone with me doing 3-way calls. He's showing up at meetings. I mean, this guy's he doesn't have a wife. He doesn't have kids. And we went around the room and he asked about the why. His why is he's got a sister who lives in Florida, whose husband is a drug addict, and they have a kid who's 14. So the sister's waiting tables, working 2 jobs a day, trying to put this 14-year-old kid, just get clothes and feed him. So the younger brother, who's only 30, is like, I'm going to pay for my nephew's college with this business. Can I show you a video? Right? So if you position it, so if this guy came up and said, listen, I don't know how well my sister, she's not doing well, my brother-in-law ended up being a bum, I have a 14-year-old nephew, he's a good kid, and he needs some money, and so work's okay, but I have this little side thing I'm working on, and I want to sock away $3, $4, $5 grand a month and pay for my nephew's college with this new green energy thing I got involved in. And I'd love to get your opinion and let me know what you think. Am I going to be able to make $5 grand a month with this business? Kia, can I buy you a cup of coffee?
Sure.
Or when can you be in front of your computer for a half hour? Tonight. Can I call you tonight? Or one day this week? How can you say no to that? The guy's got a noble effort, whether it's his nephew, whether it's your kids, whether it's you're working for your mother, your mother raised you, now she needs help. I need to make a few extra bucks. So think about that, guys. Think about how elegant that is. You have 3 kids. What are you doing about it? No, I'm taking charge of my life.
That's right.
Here's what I'm doing. Now, obviously, if someone say, you know what? Shit, he's got 2 kids. I got 3 kids. Maybe I should be doing something. His kid's 12. My kid's 16. Whatever. But don't let them figure that out. Right? At this point, you're just asking them to take a look at your business plan.
Right.
You're taking charge of your life. You're on a mission. That's your why. Right? Now your why is, again, there's 2 reasons why you have the why. Why is the reason why you're doing it in the first place? Because you do want to get your mom out of that thing, or help your mom with the rent, or whatever it is, okay? Or get her the medicines, or whatever it is, okay? But now when you share it, people will help you. At worst, you should get a customer. When they see the business, and they see, utility and revolutions, listen, they might say, I don't have the time, I don't have the inclination, it's just not me, but I'll become a customer.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, obviously, if they don't understand it, they wasn't really looking, but that's okay. Say, listen, at least become a customer. It's free. It's free to become a customer. It doesn't cost you anything. And who do you know? You get me some customers. So they may say, you know what? I want to help you. I appreciate what you're doing. And people will run through walls, if you just let them know what's going on in your life. So you share a little bit of your why, and they will help you. They'll get you customers. They might get you a couple of people. So you know what? It's just not for me, but my brother-in-law, he knows a ton of people.
Yeah.
He's got the gift of gab, man. He would be great at this. Give him a call. Tell him I said, to talk to you. He picks up the phone. Hey, I got this guy whose mother, can't pay for her medicine. and he's got this green energy thing. It's really interesting. You should talk to him. I want you to help him out. And that's how this business really works, is asking for a favor, not even to become a customer, just to take a look at why you're doing this. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you take away one thing tonight, guys, take away that, okay? Come up with a reason why. Come up with a few reasons why. Right? Somebody says, I got more than just that. I got this, I got this, I got this. There's a lot of reasons why I need to make a few extra $1,000 a month. And what's neat about this business is that you can build it for a year or two and get to $1,000, $3,000, $5,000 a month. And then step away for a few weeks or a few months. You know, I know a lot of professionals, you know, dentists and lawyers, and you know, my dentist, like, if he doesn't show up for 3 months, he's got no business. They go find another dentist, right?
Right.
So he makes good money, and he's talented, but you know, he is the business. He's a one-man show. So, and this is the only business I know that once you build it, you could take off a little bit, but you're not gonna. When you become partner, it becomes contagious.
Yeah.
Because you want other people to become partners.
Yeah.
You know, she's got reasons, and she's got people on her team that want to pay for medicine and want to get kids through college.
Right.
And I can drive down to Maryland and talk for an hour off the top of my head and help people. You know, I can't sit on the couch. It's selfish. You know, I mean, and I have people all the time. And this is the stuff that Ed was talking about. You know, you didn't expect, you know, 2-3 years down the road. We got in it to make money. We got in it to go on vacation, not have to worry about the bills. Okay? But soon it gets contagious. The only people that are really successful in this business get to that point where it's about helping other people.
Yeah.
Because that's what this model is about. You know, one of my best friends is a big-time lawyer in New Jersey, right? And he's one of my best friends from high school. I'm a godfather to his kids. You know, I mean, obviously he's a customer. He helps me out. He sends me big, but he's not ever going to do this business. It's just not his nature. He's a lawyer. He's a good lawyer. We need lawyers. You know, some lawyers can do both. He can't. He's an egghead, nerdy guy, and that's why we get along, because you know we have fun. And you know, I get him out. You know, your job is to get me out. When I say no, don't hang up. I forgot my point now. Oh yeah. So we talk about being partners in this business, right? They're all on the same team, partners. And he's got like 100 lawyers in his firm, and there's 40 partners, and he's one of the partners. And he goes, partners. He goes, they call us partners. There's 40 of us. He goes, there's 3 guys I trust. The other guys are looking to stab me in the back, you know, try to take my customers, try to say, no, I showed up earlier, he left early, or they go to another firm and they're trying to steal the customers. You know, so they're not really partners, they're only financial partners. In this business, we really are partners. You know, I'm not trying to show up, Ed. That's not how this model is built.
Right.
You know, his success is my success, and vice versa. And the cross line, the people that do the cross line stuff, they really get it. It's like, why are you on the phone for 20 minutes with a guy or a girl who's not even in your business? Well, because you're practicing. Right? If you're going to screw up someone else's. Oh yeah, that was the wrong information. But tomorrow when I talk to my guy, I'll get it right. Which leads me to the next thing, you know, is actually, you know, practice. For the new people, practice in the car. Look in the mirror. You know, say, listen, you know, don't come up with this, write down your why, and then do a real live thing to a real person, because you can fumble over your words. Do it with your upline. You know, call your upline. Me and Frank do it all the time. We get to, all right, call me back later today and ask me to watch the video. Right? Hey, Joe. They go, yeah, how's it going? You just give me your role play. Hey, listen, it's Tony. Listen, you know, how's things? How's life? How's with you? The whole thing. We're practicing, and literally, just, you know, I'm critiquing him. First thing you do is got to ask how they're doing, right? You don't pick up the phone and say, hey, we're gonna get rich. Right? You say, hey Tim, how's it going, man? You know, how's things? Oh yeah, how's that? Oh, okay. Did that work out? Okay. Oh, sorry. If they say, you know what, things aren't that great. Somebody just lost a loved one. You got to back off. You got to say, I'm sorry to hear that. You can't. You know, you just keep in touch. Right? But if they're like, things are great, some people, you know, things suck, and you think, oh, this is great. Right? Well, sometimes they go, I had the best year ever. You know, and my restaurant is busier than ever. I made more money this year than ever before. And people say, oh, I don't want to talk to that guy. Well, the truth is you should tell everyone what you're doing, okay? Ask them how they're doing, and listen, and because they are a friend or a contact of some kind, and then let them know your little mission, right? Whether it's medicine for your mom, kids, whatever it is, right? Church, whatever it is. I'm on a mission to pick up a few extra grand. I'm gonna spend Tuesday nights at a hotel. I'm gonna spend a couple of hours here or there doing this. Am I crazy? Am I stupid? I'd like to know what you think about my business. That's it. Can you do that? Right? Who's gonna say no when you tell them why you're gonna hustle? Right? You're not telling them why you're gonna go sit on a couch and smoke pot all day. You're telling them why you're gonna hustle and make something better of yourself, right? Here's what I'm gonna do. I need some money for some pot. Because this weekend I'm gonna celebrate and do nothing from Friday to Monday. Can you help me out? So you gotta get to the point where you're so good at this, right? You're so good at this. What's your name? Bobby. So I'm so good. I'm telling Bobby. Bobby's going, oh shit. Joe's gonna ask me for money. Dude, I got some bills, you know. I got my mom. He's gonna ask me for money. And I go, I want you to look at a video. I can do that. Right? And you watch the video, and you know, the worst thing that happens, you get a customer. If you're good at this, that's when people say, you know, I can't get any customers. I'm like, what are you doing that you can't get customers? You're talking too much. You're putting the cart in front of the horse, right? Just tell them why you're doing this, what you're doing. I stumbled upon this green energy business. I've been in the business 6 years, 7 years now, right? What do I say? A lot of people already know that I'm doing this. If they know me, they know I'm successful. What I say to someone is, listen, I don't know if you know, I'm in this green energy business. I'm doing okay. I want to take it to the next level, right? And then you can say that. You've been in the business 2 weeks, 2 months, it doesn't matter. Have fun with this, right? We talk about stick to the system. Stick to the routines, right? We have a system that works, but it's still your business. You get to personalize it. And everyone you talk to is different. You know, some people have egos, some people don't. Some people, you're up here and they're down here. And some people, it's the other way around, right? So if it's a guy like that I really respect, and he kind of, I think he knows what I do. He knows I do okay, right? So I don't really need a favor from him, you know, for money. But I want his opinion on how I can take my business to the next level. I just made director in my business. I just got a promotion. Right? They don't know what director is. I just got a promotion. But I have a chance to get promoted again in the next 3 months. And I'd like to pick your brain and see what you think. Because I know you do well. I know you're successful. You're a successful mortgage person. You're successful, whatever it is. Right? Everybody here has clothes on their back and got here somehow. So you're at least semi-successful at something, right? And we've all been wildly successful at a few things. If you really want to think back, right? Or whether we're 10 years old, or some kind of, you know, whatever, baseball game or something, where you really tried hard, you know, and got an A on the test, or finished that book, or whatever it was. We all have little times we were, you know, champions. That's what it takes in this business, guys. But I'm telling you, the rewards, if you do this right, think about it. If you do this right, you may never have to work again.
Yes.
But that's not true either, because you do have to. because if you become really good, right, you're going to have to work. But it's not going to be work. It's not going to be called work anymore. It's going to be called just being you. You're just going to be you. And you're going to attract even more success. Because you're going to become attractive by becoming a better person. Right? People know, people are very sensitive. We have all kinds of things going on. You can sense when somebody's real. You can sense when somebody's giving, or genuine. Right? There's charlatans out there. There's phony people out there. But you can't be successful in Viridian if you're phony. It's just not going to happen. You know. So, but it takes courage to jump through that. Now, a lot of things I said tonight are making people uncomfortable. Right? But if you're not uncomfortable, you're never going to grow. Right? If you're doing exercise, right? If I take this thing and I do it 10 times, nothing's going to happen, right? The only time you grow the muscle is when you're struggling, right? It hurts for 2 days, and then the third day you're stronger, right? You gotta get some resistance, otherwise you're not gonna grow. You know, and Jim Rohn, I was just listening to Jim Rohn yesterday, and he said that, he talked about where's Hannibal, talked about a tree, a 100-year-old tree in front of his house that they just chopped down. The tree died, it's 100 years old, it's huge. You know, and Jim Rohn talked about that humans are the only species on the planet that don't live up to their full potential. Everything else does. How tall does a tree grow? As tall as it can. Right? The tree doesn't get to say, you know what, I'm done growing. Right? It's constantly looking for sun and water and growing and growing and growing. And trees fight each other in the woods for sunshine. You know? And we're the only, and all the animals, they don't not try, they don't starve to death because they're tired of hunting. Right? They don't get hooked on drugs. You know? They don't overeat. Right? Every other species is perfect and maximizes itself. We're the only one because of this. This gets in the way. We have free will, but it also limits us. It keeps us from busting through. So just remember that you have unlimited potential inside of you, and it's disrespectful to your maker not to maximize it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
And this business really is just a vehicle to bring the best out of people.
Yeah.
And that's what it's done to me, right? 7 years ago, most people would think Joe's got it all going on. Joe's pretty, good father, good parent, good husband. He's got a nice house. He's doing okay. I'm so much further than I was 6, 7 years ago because of this business, and that's what I want for you, right? The people that made director, do you know what I'm talking about? Recently, right? Don't you feel different? Partners, right? When you get there, you're going to understand what I'm talking about, and then you're going to want other people to have it. You're going to want to share it. And when someone says no, you're going to smile to yourself. Okay?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to be like, oh my God. It's just, you're going to have good days and bad days. You're going to have ups and downs, right? But that's what makes you better. That's what life's about, is growing out of that, overcoming resistance. Because if there wasn't any resistance, nobody would grow. And ultimately, when you get the basic needs, there's only two things that really make humans satisfied. It's growth and contribution. Two things, right? You got to constantly keep growing, and you want to give it back and contribute. That's where everyone should be. It would be a great place if we weren't worried about the stupid bills. If we weren't worried about, I can't do that, I have to get this done, I have to work overtime, I have to cut back on this, I can't get my son the phone he wants, I can't do this, I can't get the new sneakers, you can't get, whatever it is, right? It's aggravating. Get that taken care of. Jim Rohn also talks about, he goes, there's a couple of things that really helps you achieve your potential. One of them is being born in America, or just living in America.
Yeah.
Living in America. Number one, living in America. People are dying to get here.
Yeah.
Right? Here's a stat I use all the time. Immigrants are 4 times more likely to become self-made millionaires than people born here.
Yeah. That's true.
Immigrants. Right? Like my cousin Vito came from Italy in the 60s. He made a fortune and went back. He's like, there's opportunity everywhere. But sometimes we're born here and we get lazy.
Yeah.
We speak the language. We went to high school. Maybe you didn't pay attention in high school, but it was there for you, right? And there's opportunity like this. What's great about Viridian is that we don't care about your education. We don't care. All we care is about your drive. And every year it gets easier because of this.
Yeah.
Technology is your friend. I can tell you a couple of stories where I got, basically downsized because of technology. Now technology is my friend. And ultimately, what happens is with network marketing, the industry as a whole, okay? Think about it. I don't watch a lot of TV, but what little TV I do watch is usually taped, right? They don't tape it anymore. I'm dating myself. DVR, right? So I'll watch on demand or whatever it is. Right? So I might watch 2 or 3 shows I follow, and I'll record them, and maybe on a Friday night I'll catch up, okay? But what happens when the commercials come on? Fast forward in those things, right? Fast forward, I'm trying to time it, just so I don't have to rewind it, right? I'm not watching commercials, right? Football games. I love watching a 1 o'clock game. I tape it, I record it, and I sit down at 1:30, right? And as long as I keep my phone off, so my friends don't text me, I watch the game, and at the commercials, I keep going right through the commercials, and I'm watching constant football. It's great. I don't want to watch commercials. I don't need to buy another car. Every commercial is a car commercial, or a dealership, or auto parts, or tires, or Geico, insurance. It's all about cars, right? I'm good. And once in a while, I need to buy a car. I don't need to see commercials all the time. My point is that people are getting so bombarded. We used to have like 5 or 6 channels of TV. Now there's 500, right? Now my kids don't even watch TV. And when I was young, it was like, turn off that TV. Now it's get off your computer. Or where's your phone? You know, put your phone in the kitchen. Don't go up in bed with your phone because they're going to be on YouTube and Snapchat all night. Right? People only talk to the people they know and like these days. Right? So how are you going to get your product in the hands of people? How are people going to find out what's a good product, what's a good service? The commercials are a waste of money, in my opinion. This is the business. It's all coming back. In the 50s and 60s and 70s, it was TV. We had no choice. Your mother, you, and everyone watched the same Happy Days, right? You watch Carol Burnett. You watch what was on, right? Now there's so much stuff going on, and you watch the commercial because you couldn't fast forward, right? Now, the only way to get stuff down is through network marketing. Because people, let me hit you up, I got something I want to talk about. You got to shop here, you got to buy this restaurant's great. Yelp, all that stuff. That's people talking to people. So it's all coming back, guys. It's coming to us. Everyone has technology now. This is the business of the 21st century. This is it. So we have a story to tell. We have green electricity, green natural gas, solar, other stuff coming out, right? Like Ed was saying, you know, you can spend $1 million on a mailing, send 1 million pieces of mail out to all of the DMV area. How many customers you guarantee? None.
Zero.
Spend $1 million and kill 1,000 trees, all that postage, all that nonsense, and people just chuck it in. My mail is like this every day. I go right into the recycle. I get 1 or 2 things that I care about, and magazines, gorgeous magazines. I don't care. Leave me alone. But if my buddy texts me and says, "Hey, check it out. You got to hear this story about my friend," I'm listening. Or, "Hey, I got to put my mom through. My mom's got a surgery and she needs some money. I need some help. Can you look at a business?" I'm there for them. So you're in the right place at the right time. And again, let's beat a dead horse. Power Up's right here. You guys, it won't be here next year. Understand that, right? It might be in Texas. It might be in Orlando. It might be in Boston. Take advantage of it, right? Doesn't matter to me. You know, my people are coming anywhere. They're coming to Maryland. They're coming to DC. They're getting in the car and they're flying here. There's people from Australia that are coming, right? There's at least a dozen people. Didn't even know what this was 4 months ago. And they're flying from the other side of the world. Right? So shame on you if you're not there with as many people as you can. Okay? So thanks for having me tonight, guys, and keep grinding.